literally what I was about to get to there, really. Koi have the potential to cause a real upset here.
But proactive beginnings. I love this mid-walk coming out. The knife did connect as well, so a little bit of information, but do they expect an actual bit of presence off the back? They will be warded away for now, so they are going to have to somewhat reset here.
Yeah, interesting that they follow through on that. Obviously, Shados' position key in terms of shutting that down, but already a heavy lean towards B here for NRG.
Full faith in the singular player of FNS to kind of lock down that A site. Feels no pressure yet, so he's just fine. And they're going looking. Crash, he's getting curious, and the swing on the corner. Perfect. Wolfen wants one, trade down, back and forth. Trex stands for two, but quickly goes down. And it looks like NRG want to send a message early.
And the timing on that was perfect. The flash comes through just as the orb drops from Som. See, Victor got to be careful here. The wide swing. Coldamenter isolates the first, but Som good for the trade.
Shados, come
will
on.
find a response. It's a Killjoy 1v1 here.
It's your dream come true, Mike. Old Tommy the Turmeric going to be coming up now. Spike is safe to get back in hand. That's fine. 35 seconds. Going to secure the flank, make sure nothing's there. He has no idea where FNS is for now. So he's going to try and play it smart and play it safe, but a fight is inevitable. And the angle for FNS...
How deep does he clear on site here, though?
That's the question, isn't it? A quick glance, and the shot's good! Shados! A slap back to NRG. And a reminder that as much as, yes, the core of NRG has got champions, so does Koi.
Yeah. A fantastic round from NRG. Honestly, the early exploration towards mid. They don't
like
overstep the mark there, but it's the timing for me. That poison orb up, just draining time, forcing Koi to sit there, really. And it will be a massive overextension to force their way past that. But immediately, as soon as that poison orb cooldown is coming in, there's three people to come through. Swing on the back of that flash, perfectly executed. But unfortunately, Koi good for the trades. Yeah,
Trex was a bit of a superstar in that as well, kind of keeping them relevant in that fight that was happening on that 4-play stack towards B. So right back into the round, we're looking at the purchase coming out from NRG. It's very limited. So again, looking at the silver linings, we're looking at orbs, we're looking at any kills, anything they can build up into this. It won't be too much to write home about. And the stack slowly working its way back around towards this B site. So again, for Koi, keeping them cool. A player like Wolfen needs to get comfortable on the stage. We haven't seen much from him in the past to this caliber. This is going to be a very big game to start on, but he's surrounded by some very experienced players.
A couple of Cobra frags here. That'll definitely be the start he'll be looking for, but Koi
nice.
Once again looking to plant the seeds of emphasis towards the B site. Obviously with Sages on both sides of this map here. Nothing spotted out with the Aldrin here. I'm not sure actually if top site was spotted there. It was Crashies up there. The wall's going to go up. We're going to try and get a bit of a deeper plant here, but it's dealt with immediately.
Yeah, very quickly now. Trex again, still going to be good for it, finding Crashies. Second bite of the cherry for the plant. That's going to go down uncontested. So safe plant here, and now into the post plant. A little bit of chip damage on Victor, but let's see if any damage could be found. There's no flank coming into place. Still going to have the turret keeping watch onto that, so no worries there. They just need to try and keep this one as safe as they can. Have the rifles. This shouldn't be a problem here, Mike.
No, definitely not. Should be a comfortable cleanup as well. Shados to find three. Trex will find the final kill for the Prime Gaming Flawless here in round 2. And you come into this round, whether or not Koi will try and throw something, a little bit of a pace change here. Try and enable Wolfen early on in this half, but the things I'm looking forward to really is how they're going to test this Killjoy setup on the side of NRG. Even though FNS is going to show a little bit of variety here.
I'm considering the conditioning now, right? We've only seen these B hits coming through.
Exactly,
They've been relatively all in. There hasn't been that presence here. They did knife and they did walk mid, but they didn't explore beyond that.
First buy round's too early to force the adjustment from
Absolutely.
NRG just yet. So.
Absolutely. That will be in the back of their mind, though, I'm certain. And let's see what Wolfen can get up to here. Proactive beginnings and a quick
Turret
start.
dealt with immediately. That's literally big tick in the box for me at the start of this round. Flash does actually catch Ardis, but look how aggressive this is. Looking to flash all the way into spawn here outside B. On the back of that information, Ardis will throw the wall up.
Yeah, talk about trying to bring Ardis into play. That is something I want to keep my eye on, is how well do they make this man work. As I said, still sticking around here, not going to back away from this. He does have Victor not far behind. He's actually got the rotate coming through from Crashies as well. These two are rabid in approach. They desperately...
Chomping at the bit. There's three people here for
They're
NRG.
willing to brawl. This is ridiculous, considering 0-2 down in this. Not a terrible start, but, you know, still willing to battle this out. And they did great chip damage on towards Coldamenter, so that could be something to note in the future. But again, you still have Sage there, so should be brought back up nice and quick. But Ardis gets punished by Wolfen, exploring on his own. No utility to attempt a motion, but it's Victor to quickly quell that. Falling away towards the site, but Koi want in.
Unfortunately, 26 HP on Victor, nearly caught off guard there. NRG have to try and find a response to this. Actually, the wall comes up. Nobody's swinging on the back of it, but actually the lockdown invested here will clear some space, but Snowman's still playable here for NRG. Should at least guarantee the plant, though.
Oh, Stuffzo's in trouble. Needs to be really careful about this. They're taking a fair amount of chip damage for themselves, but should have enough time off the back of the KJ ult to at least get the plant down. But how safe are they on the fallback? Actually made it safely into post-plant too. Yeah, very surprising.
No snake bites available, and I don't think actually any nano swarms on this, so it's going to be a dry post-plant here for
Around
Koi.
the world. Keep your eyes on, who is it? Starkso going walkabouts. He's going late flank through middle. Hasn't been noted.
Victor just gave it up. He spotted him.
Victor is in so much danger. Now there's a problem though, because they've got their mind split in two places, and Trek starts farming. 3 huge kills, and NRG left in tatters. Victor's eyes turn towards middle, and it's all but a ruse. It's all but a distraction. And the time is just seeing him the way out of this round. Goldamenta to close, and Koi off to the perfect start, 3-0.
Big conversion here for Koi in round 3, and again, this is on the back of NRG looking to really flex out on B main.
Get aggressive.
Like hyper aggressive against 3 Spectres. Again, Koi weren't even really happy to entertain it at first, but they waited out that wave of utility as Wolfen to actually find the opener onto Ardis. Beautiful round from Koi. And this is the thing with Goldamenta. He's not afraid to let that clock burn, let it go all the way down, force so much utility out. We saw that time and time again from him last year.
And how many times have I talked about Goldamenta as a kingmaker, right? He knows how to make his players work for him. We're seeing it with Trex early on. Wolfen want to see how he warms into this, and we're finally seeing a little bit of a look towards the A site here. So again, the purchase from NRG is poor, so it's not going to be one of those rounds that we're going to be writing home about if all goes to plan, but it's the first time Koi's starting to explore the map this time.
A scope in the hands of Som. We're left to anchor towards Snowman, but 3 pistols to deal with here. Well, actually, Shadow's just staring on Victor here, and actually, Victor looking to get aggressive, nearly catching one.
Yeah, but the pressure's coming now. Shados cracks open towards Crashies too. Potential of a flank, but not going to be explored. And they're on towards the site, already clearing towards 410. Darkso towards Ardis. It's clean so far. Nice. No trades coming back in. You can see FS trying to find that space. Denied quickly. Koi, super diligent. Super clean, super diligent, and a Prime Gaming flawless here, Mike.
A second. Now, and we're in round 5, or coming into round 5 now.
Now, it's early days still. When do they hit the button for a timeout for me if you are NRG? Because you don't want this to spiral. You've got another bite here with a full purchase. Maybe run this one, but surely that consideration will be here soon.
It's definitely after this buy round for me.
Yeah.
But if we do see any sort of adaptation come through. But Koi definitely in the driving seat in terms of the pacing here, in terms of the control.
Absolutely.
NRG just about coming up towards this first ult cycle. And I mean, 2 is the most kills here on the board for NRG. Again, early dealing with the turret once again, creating a gap, forcing this rotation out. I think Koi are going to very quickly drift towards A here.
And last time around they did this, they did eventually kind of explore that B side, that late lurk through middle. They kind of...
I think this is what previously prompted that aggression towards B main for NRG. So we get a different look from NRG this time, but also a different response from Koi.
And look at Wolfen. I think you're absolutely on the money with that consideration. He's already sat back there making sure that doesn't happen. So they are trying to find information here. But again, a new look from Koi, going to go towards the A site. So a little bit of a switch up, but no pace behind this. Maybe waiting to see if that flex does come through.
We'll see. Crashes should have his recon back online now. Yeah, and he's actually just sent it out immediately. Now, if that pings nothing, which actually looks like everybody from Koi has avoided that.
Do they rotate? Do they sit deeper? What? I'm looking at FNS trying to find a bit of information as well. I think this is going to be quite telling. Nothing still.
Should hit these steps though.
It's huge. What a swing from Wolfen as well. You felt as though Ardis was good for that crash. She's still standing. Don't know how. The absolute flood of utility on the side is going to put him right under pressure. The flank is on though. Koi not feeling comfortable just yet. They want another pick, but you can see them halting for a second, pausing for composure. See if there's any oversteps, and no one is so far.
They've got bodies on the line here to try and defend. That's the Aldrone. Late investment here.
How is Crashies alive?
Utility to clear Crashies.
10 seconds. They've got to make a move towards the site. And Soma Vector saving NRG in this. Whew.
Yeah, a little frantic there on the defense and on the attack as well, but I think just an inability to follow up on that first kill to Ardis. Crashies just tucked in for so long. I think initially a slow orb sent his way, but after that, a snake bite to follow up, it seemed a little hesitant on the side of Koi when they actually had the upper hand there. As soon as Ardis falls, he's invested the wall. Just follow through on that.
Yeah, credit to Crashies for playing his life so well, but you're absolutely right. There wasn't as much kind of pressure right towards him. Yes, I guess the flank did come in roughly around that time, so a little bit of a stress across the board. But 4-1, we finally have NRG fighting back into this. Let's see what the new look coming out from the attacking side of Koi is going to be this time.
And Crashies and Victor, Ultimates online. Sol and Artist just one away from the Res and the Viper's Pit. Blade Storm available here for Wolfen. Actually, Stars are going to get his res online as well. Spread pretty thin once again for Koi in the early round. No exploration from NRG either. Crashy's looking a little bored there. Hands off the keyboard. Just jump spotting Boiler right now. In the second leg, really, we've seen Wolfen deal with that turret early on a couple of times, but there hasn't been a single round when this alarm bot's been pressured yet. That's one thing that's going to be the key part of this Killjoy setup. Once again, Artist and Crashies potentially going to be tested here on A site. Victor drifting this way as well.
Such close contact as well. That's the first bit of utility fully invested, and they're already on the site, essentially. Really sitting deep now, NRG. Didn't want to take that risk after Artist lost his head in just that prior round, but still. Plant going to come through, and Trek's on guard duty. Takes down Victor. Crashies with a whole lot of info, but not a lot of ability to really do much about the pressure coming off the back of it. So again, spamming in. Artist takes a little bit of damage himself. And they're looking for that first step in on this retake, and it may be off the back of this Hunter's Fury coming through, and absolutely maybe now. Trex goes down, but not before he actually managed to convert onto Victor. The timing,
no.
Finesse! He's made a bit of a meal of it. This could be deadly now. Problems are plenty, Mike.
Does find it though. Cold Elemental will fall here. FNS, can he find anything else? No. Starzo deals with it. Trax finds a follow-up. Wall's still available for Artist, but man, there's just not enough left to fight the numbers of Koi on the site here. Again, seemed like almost a dry run of the previous round, but a much deeper setup here with Crashies basically playing off that Hunter's Fury. Victor gets here just as he pops the null command. The wall's already up. Starzo's already got that wall against screen, so there's no threat to sight. A little strange to watch that. Again, this was no pressure elsewhere on the map. This time the turret wasn't dealt with in kitchen. There wasn't really any indicators of presence anywhere else for NRG. The NRG take the initiative, but it's difficult when you don't have the weapons to back that up.
Yeah, it's just, you know, buy a round.
And without a duelist as well.
Exactly.
A duelist is the one that really they should be looking to enable in those sort of rounds.
And as much as, yes, you can prop up certain players to play like it, the agent not there, going to be difficult. Trying to play bodyguard here for Victor. Does, I think, yeah, he did indeed get the orb, so that's fine. FNS could be next on the chopping block, and he is quick with it. Really clean work. I think this is a lot of credit going to Cold Elemental in my mind. Again, you've got a lot of untested talent, some talent who've been off almost for a year. You've got a lot of different factors to work into effect here, but he's doing incredibly well with this roster so far. Crashies and Som, again, looking for maybe some sort of chip damage, some sort of exits here, any sort of damage they can achieve. That'll do. I'm going to take down one, but anything more starts to get almost impossible.
The opening to some of these anti-eco rounds from Koi have just been absolute perfection. There's been no real risk. Always stacked up in numbers, and Wolfen's been good for it so far, honestly.
Yeah, solid.
They're building up a bit of a bankroll now as well. I think that's going to be even worse with 4 surviving here for Koi. They're sat very comfortably. And you look at NRG, it's odds and ends left behind this. Viper's Pit, Res, lockdown to play with here, but again, I'm just not seeing the numbers on the side of NRG to really feel confident about the home stretch of this half.
No, and it could turn on this round. This is what it kind of is a pivot point in the game for me, or at least in this half. It does seem as though we're going to see a similar start as well. Eyes towards what Wolfen does here. Does he get checked on this? Does he not? Similar scenes. No turret this time. So again, this could be relatively telling as well that there is an adjustment, but Wolfen big pick. Victor goes down, he gets a back away, and there's no trade, there is no threat.
I love the reaction here. It's such a big indicator that the turret's not there. There's some kind of adjustment on the side of NRG.
What's been
exactly what's happening differently here. Beautiful opener from Wolfen once again.
That's really nice to see. Again, young player, good decision making coming in here. First on the big stages like this. That's lovely. Doesn't have to get too flashy with it, can just do his role. And we've got that slow lean actually towards B, but we do still see Viper's Pit in play.
Still got a drone, still got the recon to deal with. Some should they force in.
Res up. There's Shados on guard duty. Trex quickly handling business, and Artis even gets tagged in this. So they've lost even more. Yes, Coldamenta goes down, but still, it's just FNS, Som, and Artis to try and quickly get back towards the A site. All drawn towards B, all drawn towards mid, and a quick read and a correct decision from Koi to instantly go towards A.
Yeah,
beautiful, beautiful decision making.
A very safe plant as well with no pressure coming back through on site. FNS actually going to invest the lockdown here with the Hunter's Fury being burnt up from Trex. We'll see really what it buys. Again, when they're not behind screens, it only really gives them access towards the orb. You can see where it cuts off here. It's a safe plant.
Okay, what's the plan here? Oh, this could be nice. Gives him a bit of cover. That's the only issue, though. Has to back away 18 HP, and he's lost all the bodies in the meantime. All alone, barely breathing. Artis would have to work miracles, and there are no miracles here for NRG. Koi is 7-1 up. Let's pump the brakes here, Mike. Let's take a step back, right? As this tournament is going to be one of those that could be completely out of expectation. Very hard to consider who does deep runs, who's going where. But we have to give credit at 7-1 that Koi have come in looking dangerous, Mike.
Absolutely, and NRG making a few decisions that just feel a little flustered. I mean, the res there, even if the Hunter's Fury wasn't a factor, right? This res is towards the bottom end of tube, with no wall invested towards mid. I didn't actually see on the minimap if anybody had probed anywhere else to kind of ensure that, but it's immediately punished. I mean, Artis gets tagged as well, obviously got the heal behind that, but like I said, it's not often last year we'd ever talk about NRG, well, previously FNS, making these kind of desperation calls.
No, but I think this also then spins back, considering we are seeing a bit of a force-up. Actually, Som going to connect one, so that's actually quite important. First time we're seeing Wolfen found without any trade or anything back. Maybe could do a bit more with this, but I think this arcs back to this is potentially NRG's game to lose to an extent. A lot more pressure, a lot more eyes on them. Koi, I think if you're part of the EMEA scene, you watch these teams, you'll be very aware of who some of these players are, but
the tag actually comes through.
Not bad, he's putting in work, he's trying. But again, this is huge pressure on NRG, and Koi gets to come in and even determine the pace on the attacking side is very valuable in this.
Yeah, big progress towards A here as well. Victor digging pretty deep here with Wolfen falling. Again, no progress through mid, actually. Crashy's going to opt to rotate towards orange here.
How much longer can he
actually,
last?
as I say that, yeah, Victor actually caught with the stinger out in the open.
So much put towards just clearing him out of this. Actually, FNS! Great little available angle. The all has come into play, and again, just putting bodies on the line here. Koi has once again won out the fight. Yes, it's sloppy, but it now probably 8-1. It's not the end of the world unless Victor can work out some sort of magic here.
Well, he did get tagged up and noted by Trex as well, so down to 67 HP. Flashes to work with. The alarm bot will reveal his position. Gonna need a miracle to get this one done. Still a drone to buy time as well.
Shados working with it too. Beautiful. Two still alive. Trex, Shados move forward. Money's not an issue. Rounds aren't an issue. Koi are comfortable on the stage.
Yeah. I mean, cool round 10, the nail in the coffin, honestly. With this bankroll that's built up here, Koi systematically working through these ultimates as well. NRG, couple away. Crashes two off the Hunter's Fury once again. Victor, one off the null command.
Yeah, I've got to say as well, for me, Trex and Shados, outstanding performance so far. Yes,
Shados is 12-1.
Yeah, what? Shados is having a game. And he had a good beginning, call it what you want when they had the economy in their favor, but even into the buy round, it's been super influential. Early attempt, a little bit of a catch there towards the orb, but again, just going to keep map control for now. But a massive rotation. You've got 4 players on A here.
I feel a little bit like it's time for NRG to try and take a fight here. That might be why we see the numbers committed towards A. Artis actually with an op in hand.
Could be big. You need something to make a difference.
Throw a spanner in the works. We know what he's capable with this weapon.
There's not many like him. The man he replaced is one of the only other few that you could argue. But again, 3-9 quiet performance here so far, but not really an individual error, I feel. It's just a game as it is. 50 seconds now. Running down the clock quite low. And they're going to be walking into a substantially larger amount of presence. First time we're going to see the 4 players really posted up on this too. Artis first contact. Wins that fight wall. Gets committed, doesn't get on it himself though, so has to peel away from this. And actually an early read from NRG that this is going to be a rotation.
30 seconds.
I mean, 30 seconds left here. I don't think they're going to beat NRG to this side. Obviously, some tucked all the way into Snowman.
I love Victor backfilling this super quick as well.
Immediately.
Safety, making sure it's not going to be a double pump, a double fake. No, it's going to be now red alert to Som. Do what you can, buy us time, buy any seconds you can. Plant's going to come in, does it get stuck here? 10 seconds now, it's down, it's safe. Into the post plant, crashes, handles Starzo. Now down to 3 players. What more can these 3 do? I think I heard the Viper's pick committed.
Yeah, Coldamenter's popped it.
He's popped it, and rightly so, but Victor on the flank. This was happening a long time ago. Artist still popping off shots, finds Shados. Down to Coldamenter and Trex here. Close on the side, and Crash is trying to reveal him. Crash is going to get Trex, and now just Coldamenter, and he's dealt with. Finally, NRG stemmed the bleeding. But is it too little, and is it too late?
I said for this to go in Koi's favor would have been the nail in the coffin for me. Again, it will be nothing short of a miracle.
Yeah.
They can close this out with the best possible result. It was a Prime Gaming flawless
Didn't
for
feel
NRG
like
to get
it.
back on it. Definitely didn't.
So scrappy. Wow. And a timeout now for Koi. So maybe
Let that one breathe a little bit.
Just let it settle. They're
Yeah,
not under
there's
any pressure right now still.
Not really any bad decision making on the side of Koi here. This just felt a little more of a, I guess, a mid-intention here from Koi. At least with a couple of bodies, it's usually Wolfen to just find that turret. Slow creep behind the orb.
Yeah, they have not done this walk before at all. So the fight will be towards FNS, if anything. 3 players there, and this hasn't happened yet. This timing can be really uncomfortable. Now we'll get the early warning signal, but beyond that, it's really on him here.
He can spam the wall off this alarm bar as well, actually. You can see the nano swarm on the other side of it.
They've got to be asking questions. They've got to be. That timing's starting to get curious here. FNS still steal, focus. He's going to hit the steps here, and now he's going to see the players. Falls away from this and probably rightly considered. Quick trade does take down Wolfen, but the site's now under scrutiny. We do note that, again, it was Artist who hit that early rotate towards B on that B site, but the fight in middle's won out by Starzo. And crashes on the quick flank is going to miss the vast majority. There's still 1 player even behind this Trex, waiting ever so patiently for his time. The plant comes in, the timing's atrocious. Trex gets it on a platter. Spotting out 1 in the second, looking likely. Trex, sharp as ever. And now it's just Artist, completely navigated around, didn't even get a chance into this round. I love that. How do we get around the up? What, we just play it up the guts, up middle.
I'd love to accredit this towards the awareness of being, it's going to be on an extremity, right?
Yeah.
The weakness is going to be in mid. And what's FNS got to deal with is 3 bodies barreling into kitchen. Like I said, even here with the setup, they're stacked up as 3, ready to explode
close
on the back of that alarm bot contact.
What
We'll find a consolation, but only really revealing himself here. Prone to losing this now. Tracks on the first swing. And Shados picking up the slack elsewhere as well, might even catch him.
Gave it a good fight. Operator gone now. And the round back for Koi. Fantastic call from, I imagine, Coldamenter. I feel like that's the first time we saw them up the guts.
Timeout.
They knew
Straight
what they
out
were
of
doing.
timeout.
And it's not a bad call from NRG. By all accounts, you're only trying to play off of what you know. Make that, maybe that next step reading, you know, trying to place him into middle somewhere. But again, it's Sage, not hypermobile, not able to really get out of those scenarios. So again, you don't have that capability. So 2 to 9. Money, it's missing bits and pieces here. You can see Victor without armor, you can see odds and ends lacking, but Artist does still have the operator. So this time around, what's the plan here? They desperately need this third.
They really do. I don't feel comfortable about this second half at all. 3 towards B main initially here for Koi. Coldamented to be the 4th. Shados is going to be on crowd control elsewhere. Victor looks a little curious. Towards Nest at least on A site. A pause for thought here for Koi. Hunter's Fury available. Res available. The other side of things, FNS does have that lockdown and preemptively invested here with over a minute left on the clock. Just to force them back into spawn here. As, like I said, it feels just a little desperate. Don't really secure the space on the back of that. I'm really not sure about that one.
No, I was kind of imagining if someone backfill it a little
Exactly,
further.
yeah, take the space, force them even deeper. There's a pinch coming through from Victor, potentially with this aggression on A.
And here's the burst again. Wolfen instantly going to fight towards Som. Som great dealing with the first though. Front line dealt with. Now you got to look towards who else is remaining. We know that Koi are running as a pack in this. There's 3 players who are the heavy hitters and they're mostly still standing. Some, though, yet to be cleared fully from this. Rez comes in. Do they get a partner? Huge from Som, holding it down and giving NRG the finest amount of hope, the thinnest amount to work with, as 3 rounds is really the bare minimum.
It's a fine margin, yeah, the bare minimum. Quietly on the other side of things, Trex has just had an insane half of Valorant here.
Yes, he has.
On ICEBOX for Koi, just such a consistent player. I saw him hint at this. Oh, it doesn't get much better than that, right? They line up for him. You can see a little bit of joy to close out the half for NRG. The consolation, at least, definitely needed that one.
Yeah, might bring him back a little here, give him a little bit of that fire burning in the belly, because they definitely need a wake-up call. It's 3-9.
Chet's cracked a smile.
First time in a while. First time in a while. But yeah,
the
this
numbers. Thank God, Som closes out that half in the way that he did. There's a couple of times there were fumbles left, right, and center for NRG. That has to be cleaned up here for the second half.
And if I'm Koi, I'm testing them. I'm going right back into the thick of it. And well, for starters, they are getting dealt with. Good
4 miss.
Yeah, they're very aware that this confidence could be happening, and it is. So Starzo going to back away here. I see them willing to fight on this, spotting them crossing towards the A site though. So already going to have at least 2 bodies here. We're going to see a little bit of the setup in play. FNS though, trying to lead by example at this point here. Early
intention showed here as well for Wolfen. Happy to take these opening engagements, and Koi happy to build around him. Get the clean plant here, and still 5 standing here for NRG. So numbers advantage. Koi have to get something done on this retake. Wall going to burn up a lot of time here as well, Lauren.
I don't see a comfy way back in at all. They already have to back away from this. There's no step to it. There's still so many bodies on the site. 5 still standing for NRG.
The wall's only just coming down now, and there's only 1 chunk removed.
Okay, Shados though does connect quite quickly. Good information on the second, but not going to follow up. It's Som dealing with it at the back of the site. Artist still standing, and NRG locking this down. They need this one to work out for them, and Trex cannot do enough. 3 alive for NRG, and the first in the second half.
A great response from NRG as well. As soon as Wolfen falls, they drift back. They're happy to try and fight the remnants of that early attempt from Koi and slot themselves right onto A site. Like I said, that wall just bought so much time.
Really nice.
Felt like a good 15, 20 seconds until finally a chunk was removed.
I'd love to see that. And it is going to be a process here, because we can't really, when we look at NRG, you don't have that ICEBOX knowledge to depend upon when you come to that core 3, even to an extent. You know, you wonder what they're going to look like on this, and again, get to at least determine the pace this time. But Koi's still looking to test the waters, and why not? They are onto the classics, the frenzy, and just a touch of utility around it, but not a great deal. Just testing the waters, and Som on the case.
I'm so happy with Wolfen though, and this is in a comp that doesn't actually have a flash, right? There's no stun, there's no flash. It's only really Trex's utility to really support him, but in my eyes, he's absolutely delivered so far.
Very well.
Let's see what he can get done in the second half as well. Early intention shown from Koi once again with that tube walk. The dart goes through. Actually on the back of that. So proactive, they're coming back, they're clearing this space outside A site, and this is on a round with just classics to work with.
And here we go, there's going to be the spot. Crashy's notes at least 1, potentially 2 now, so they should be very aware that there's now going to be further presence. A little messy in the end, not what you want, but they should be fine now. Going to lose out on Victor, but I doubt Trex will get anything. Yeah, so comfy, 4 alive, farm coming in. NRG building back into this game. Yeah,
and they come into the next round as well. I have to see exactly how it lands, but with a Vandal to work with in the hands of Ardis. That Bulldog for Som. See actually what's going to round this purchase out. Crashy's 1 away from the Hunter's Fury. The potential to get that online in this round. Koi definitely with the upper hand here. And a big question arises now. How many different looks will we see from this proactivity on the side of Koi? Again, you got to credit the protocols once again for Coldamenta there. So proactive to clear through A side. They don't want NRG to get away with any free space. So if we see that continue into the buy rounds now. They walk down tube here. It's 3 towards A site instead, Lauren.
Yeah, and got to say, Shados is in a world of danger. Hyper isolated. Even the rotation through mid can be noted, can be seen, can be punished. I don't know how much he can do on his own here.
Starzo's behind this turret as well, so FNS deals with it. He should be able to lock down at least one side. Either the kitchen rotate or under tube at least. Yeah, this... I mean, if Shadows lives, then yeah, sure, but...
Didn't love this. If I'm honest, that put...
No second swing. I mean, Starzo's trying to follow off the drone. Som's going to find another kill onto Coldamenti here.
Nicely played round so far by NRG, but it is been left on a platter here. Shados, Wolfen, and Trex trying to navigate a way through, and Som can play that back line. Ardis yet to be checked on, does do well. Finds Wolfen, extends a little bit of play here. 3v2, and Som, perfect timing. Lovely approach there. Buys a little couple of seconds as well. Going to be a nuisance, and Shados not being given a fair fight. There isn't one to be had. Turns the flash, but he can't turn this round any other way, and I didn't love what they were doing. There was a little bit of a heavy investment towards the ace site, but again, there was no fallback plan there.
I mean, I love it from FNS. Yeah, they're showing tube presence. I'm going to walk tube this round. And like I said, it's the fact that Starzo's behind that turret, the other side of it, that just makes it so uneasy for Shadows. You can kind of trade that off if they get deep mid control, they get deep A side control somewhere else. But as soon as you get stuck behind that turret, Shadows is left in a world of hurt. And there's no, I mean, what can he do there? Pop off, find 3 kills? That's the only solution to that.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if there was maybe not a misread, but maybe a gamble towards it. Maybe testing things out. I don't know. But again, it's put them in a position where they are back down to the pistols here. So this will build again an opportunity for NRG to close the gap, and they're still stuck on 9 for Koi. NRG just building that confidence as well, trying to feel out the game, warm into this a little bit. They certainly need a bit of that. Maybe some Eco Cobra frags for Ardis can help the matter too.
Momentum should get spotted here, yeah. Noted at least from Ardis. I think actually noted the second player as well. Starzo unnoted as of yet. The spike not committed. A little bit of a poke here from NRG, and they do have the space to rotate. Already though, Koi. They have a read on this as well. Only really the frenzy in the hands of Shados to work with.
As it stands, NRG is still stuck towards B long, very methodically working. They do still have utility to clear towards site as well.
30 seconds.
But it's the time. It makes me nervous, even against these pistols. One player drops, Spike gets lost, Util gets burnt up, 25 seconds now. Mike, this is running down to the wire. Som trying to do his heroics once again. Wall goes up, 18 seconds. I'm still waiting for that plant to come in and if it's safe. It is for now. Victor and Som on the case.
Right, Som actually the one to find that crucial kill to open things up and closes out with 3 for the Prime Gaming Flawless. And a little more confidence in their step now for NRG. Som actually leading the charge here, 17 and 9, top of the scoreboard for them. And this ultimately is the buy round that gets them back to a tight scoreline in my eyes.
You've got to say, heroics.
Yeah, actually, maybe behind this purchase, yeah, I mean, other than the operator purchase, Wolfen won off the Blade Storm. There's a chance to scrape together maybe some rifles in the next. This is a big one for NRG, actually. Potential to get everything online in terms of this ult cycle. But Hunter's Fury and the Viper's bit available in this round for Crashies and Som.
They're implying pressure in middle as well. You've just seen the Aldrone go through, and Wolfen's waiting with that operator. One of the young guns to watch if you are keeping track of EMEA. Didn't expect to really see him here, but let's see how he does with operator now in hand.
It's a big jump to come here to this stage, and I mean, I've already said it delivered in my eyes in that first half. Yeah,
very much like a technical player so far. He's not, as I said, not going to be your highlight player. He's not going to be sitting there top of the scoreboard, but he's certainly doing the damage. Lovely work. Big connection towards Victor. That's now a little bit of a problem. You're going to isolate FNS if he tries to stick around here. He can't do much more. It's down to the 3 that are hitting towards the site.
Crashies and Ardis, though. Look at them.
To find Starzo, trying to navigate around potentially. Starzo yet to get checked on, and Trex has found Crashies. This is a bit bizarre to me, and Starzo can just back away here, gets away with his life. No success being found. FNS, yes, has gone deep towards A, but to what value? There's still utility in play here.
Just now dealing with the turret. The alarm bot's still there, so Shadows is going to know nobody's followed through on that.
Som, how much can this one man do? This again is calling for such a huge round, and he's actually in the right place for it. Gonna fight Coldamenta. There is a second on the site as well, but it is gonna be Starzo just worming his way around trying to find the angle. He gets it, Koi! Huge punish. Denying Storm, denying Artis, and they noted earlier where FNS was. They are gonna sit on this one. The smokes are coming in. Starzo is safe, and it's 10 for Koi.
Great response here in this round, but NRG creeping all the way up onto B side. I think it's only that recon from Trex that gives that away. It almost felt like Crashies had a free clearance with that Viper Wall being up, as Starzo hyper-focused towards B main. Got away with murder there, I gotta say it. Yeah, I'm not sure actually who was in a position to deal with that dart. I love seeing Barbar cam again, by the way.
It's like, I miss Barbar cam. Great to see it.
But yeah, it's only that recon that gives things away. So great timing from Trex to really bail Starzo out in that regard. But the only ultimate missing now for NRG, the lockdown. So a decent financial position behind this, and looks as if they might try and commit behind this null command. Shadows here, so most of his utility going to be rendered useless. Should be a clean plant here.
Oh.
Viper's Pit going to go up now.
Ooh, hold on.
Response coming through from Trex here. One tag at least I noted, but actually no tag. It looked like he did get a tag onto Artis there, but
they've invested so much in this. But 2 players on the flank now, but 2 players to be watching it as well. So NRG fully aware, really diligent.
Unlosable round here. Hunter's Fury, 2 snake bites available. Nano Swarms, Koi know it. As soon as those 2 flank kills fall, a great decision to be made here from Koi as well. And Coldamenta 2800, Starzo 800. Opportunity here for a weapon to be passed across. Like I said, that all hinged on those 2 kills on the flank, Lauren.
Yeah, it could have changed the outcome if they did potentially go the other way, but NRG pulling out the must-win round sort of deal. Burnt a fair amount, but absolutely worth it at this point, it feels. So they're going to convert here and close the gap on the scoreline just a touch. Not letting Koi run away, and a little bit of a hunt for the rifles.
I was going to say, Wolfen up on top of the hut there. Back in spawn, almost getting spotted out. He did have the operator in hand, obviously carries it across now. Fair investment here, but it's the null command and the Viper's Pit to get this round done. Great awareness for FNS and Crashies just to be double stacked up here to secure that.
Just knowing where that weakness would be, because you've invested so much on it.
What the win condition is.
Yeah, exactly.
The win condition is the post plant there.
Beautiful, beautifully done. We go back in though. And again, Koi's money will be brought into question. They are starting to dip a little lower into the funds, and the scoreline's getting a bit closer here. Slowly, NRG waking up in this game. And Trex willing to scrap on this. Does need to back away. He had the support there as well. Wolfen getting a little bit of play into this. Timing not there this time, and NRG quick to it. They are not resting for a second. Victor, fast as anything. You'd think he's on Neon if you blinked and missed it. But it's Wolfen in the back lines. They've had to relinquish the site control. But I am looking at one going walkabouts here. Trex is still on the site. Finally found by Crashies, for the spike yet to be planted, but NRG are winning the fight that they desperately needed.
Now, this is the sort of round they're known for, completely disrupting the rhythm, the tempo, the expectations of some of these rounds. And Koi just left scratching their heads, honestly. Massively overstepping the mark. You don't ever expect anybody on the back of that initial contact. And that's Koi being aggressive there. They're the ones that are happy to dig a little deeper, challenge that owl drone. But straight away, Victor barrels towards site.
I love seeing that from Victor, though. We needed a bit of that punch to come back in. We saw a little bit of that dabble of aggression on the first half. It didn't obviously work out as well for NRG, but to see them kindling that here in the second half is great.
I'm glad you referenced the Neon as well, because actually, whatever composition we see him in, it becomes Victor and Crashies being the key stakeholders, right? Those are the playmakers. Yes, they're missing Ye now.
Sure.
But in my eyes, Victor and Crashies are 2 that actually, when they excel, those games for Optic look so easy. When they're just in like hard carry mode.
Yeah, it's gorgeous to watch. It's very stylistic to only what I feel like they can do as well. And look at this. Rabid on the hunt, takes so much space, continuing to pressure, and you're right, Crashies in combination as well. Beautiful synergy there. Loving that. Going to put a little bit more pressure back towards Koi now.
Somehow,
9 to 10.
Somehow, we're 1 round
perfect. This
away from a tied scoreline.
But this is the beauty of single elim as well. Like, this one map can mean so much here. And NRG having to dig deep early on. Now, the money did get shattered. We saw it was very fragile, even just the prior round for Koi. So this is poised to be 10-10, Mike.
There's actually a comfortable amount of credits. Sorry, just tighten up the numbers, but
Yeah.
Wolfen's going to be able to have the operator. Even here, it's 2,200, 2,800 to carry across. Decent progression on this ult cycle as well. Coldamenta and Shados, one away from two very impactful defensive ultimates. Flip side, yes, could argue there's a couple of counters there, but I say we came into this half with, yes, the odds stacked against NRG, but even here you come into the next, it's tied up. I mean, a loss isn't going to break them, but still, Koi in a pretty good position.
Yeah, certainly the purchase will be coming back around, but they really need to show their diligence here as well for NRG. Don't be walking into stacks or any funny business. Not for the time being purchased. Wolfen unable to find the connection he wanted.
Wolfen and Shados breaking their ankles there.
And the site looks like it's on a platter. Do they try and refight? Do they offset the timing? It looks like they try to. Artist, though, willing to brawl it out. Crash, he denies. And none of that pressure, none of that aggression going to work out here, trying to offset the tempo to try and maybe deny that plant and get in their faces. Coldamenta left alive, and it's a formality at this point. It will be tied up. This will be 10-10. I'd love to see you prove me wrong, Coldamenta, but it ain't going to happen.
More and more examples of that main stage confidence coming out from some of these NRG players.
They need it. They needed it. Called upon it when it was most required. 3 rounds in the first half, and bear in mind, one of them was a gift from Som. This is pedigree coming in. This is that core 3 that we need to be looking at, and then the additions coming through as well. This is exactly what the doctor prescribed, and they are absolutely doing as needed.
Problem being that. I am not seeing it initially here.
Nope.
Adjustment, yes, Shados over towards B. Well, maybe actually with this tube walk, we might even see it.
This is what we've been asking for. Wolfen could have that opportunity. He did manage to find, I believe it was actually Victor even last time, but a new position playing off the back of the turret as well.
It's a sketchy res. Starzo has to respect it for the time being, has to back away from that. And might even have to wait for the retake opportunity to get that res back online.
And I feel like this is a fantastic read because we did see that before. That walk down tube, only used once or twice, very rarely implemented.
FNS with his finger on the pulse in terms of what Koi were planning to pull out in this round.
God, this is so much pressure now.
Yeah, Crashes has actually confirmed the information that actually Starzo isn't tucked into tube, waiting for that res. And they're going to police it as well. Look at this, bodies on the death marker.
I love it. Shados is sweating bullets here.
Because there's a big gap in kitchen.
Yeah,
big gap in kitchen.
They could be anywhere. The information is so deep by the time they'll be on the site. And again, yes, they've cleared this far, so this adds to that pressure on this man here, Shados. How much can he do? Does he get checked on? When does he get checked on? Because they're still watching this flank, Mike.
Big
there
positive.
is still information free-flowing. So Shados, again, that time, he's got even longer on his own.
This is the thing, though. NRG have a long list of options in terms of the plant spot. Victor actually settling for default here.
I love this. Going back in just to ensure that that res does not come through, and Som is putting in serious work. Shados finally pulls the trigger, takes down one on the site. Som's been bound, it's a 3v3, but time, the KJ ult has come into effect, and Artis is going to get the counter ult comes in. Starzo on the punish, and now just 2. FNS and Victor, and where do they go?
Got to back away. Koi actually respecting the lockdown as well. Nothing detained here on either side.
Time. They got to get a move on Victor.
It's burnt up so much.
He's going to have his knife back, he's going to have his flashback, he's got so much kit still to play with. Shados still alive, FNS is there, he can get back onto this one. Oh, and Victor's found Starzo! Shados with a quick trade, but time is everything, and is running out for them. FNS, he can't do it in time! It's done for, it's 11 for NRG!
What a round for NRG to pull out here. Absolute chaos, everybody. I mean, everything but the kitchen sink thrown at this round. But there's such a perfect read on both sides of this.
That was beautiful.
The clearance from NRG behind that res, and then Som posts up another. Just such an impactful round from him. And even though he falls here, like I said, both lockdowns come through, and all the time is expired. I mean, I think Trex has to full stick this. You can't fault him here.
No.
It's a high pressure scenario.
There's no right choice in that, really. It's you make the best of what you've been given, and the heartbreak on Barbar. He knows that round could have been just the minuscule differences coming into play here. And now NRG finally in the lead.
But like I said, though, Koi still had enough behind that purchase to string together rifles here.
You're right.
Coldamenta with the Viper's Pit. Some sense of security towards A site here. But the rest of Koi actually scratching
so
their heads
deep,
in mid
yeah.
right now. NRG actually feel, I guess like they found a weak point in this defense. This time around the turret is there. Shados.
I wouldn't call that weak with Shados on it now.
No.
Flashes enough. As contact found, slips away, does call for help, but no one's going to be there super quick. Yes, Trex does actually adjust really well. This is a little bit of an adjustment. Trex coming in to bail out is massive. Now they can start working this down. They would have at least noted 3 now, noting it all. That's the spike lost, and Koi crunched them in towards Kitchen. And you're going to have Evanescent and Crashies, irrelevant to outcome. Crashies would have to pull off miracles here. And he's got the first step. 35 seconds, finds the second. Crashies is fighting as best he can, but being closed in on. Another! Wolfen springs into effect, but tied up again, 11-11.
Just when you think NRG are going to find themselves a bit of space once again.
How's the money? How's the money looking though, Mike? Is it?
NRG should still be comfortable.
NRG are fine. I'm looking at Koi.
I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to be an SMG or a Judge to throw through here to round out this purchase. But even on the other side of things, I'm seeing Artist down to 350 credits.
What a game. What a game. I bloody missed Valorant.
What a way to start.
Such a close game against a team like Koi. Look at the caliber that Koi has, though. Really take it in. We go again. 11-11. Could not be closer. Mike, what are we seeing?
What is that lineup? All the way towards back kitchen, but no command popped over towards A site here.
4 players here so early on.
When do you expect this resistance?
Starzo going to find Victor. Trade comes in. The site is manic, but it's Crashies again. The pain stage from Crashies. Animal on the site. Finding 3 critical kills. Trex, heroics again required. Not going to happen. The guts on Crashies to play like that, man.
It's just another one that defies logic.
Come on. How is he up there?
And this is the thing, it's always a possibility with players like Crashies and Victor to just have one of those rounds where
One round, yeah.
Sova's in our nest.
Why?
Why?
How is he here? Watch it again. And he just keeps going. Oh, gorgeous play. And at such a pivotal time. You could not ask for a better moment. The money will be shattered, Mike.
It breaks the back of Koi's money. No ultimates available. Touching distance to the res, but NRG in a position to seal the deal on map 1 here. A long time since they really explored towards B main in the early round. Knife will clear yellow. Shados once again will be tested. How many times have we said that in this second half?
If he can just try and play his life as best he can, yeah, not going to find it.
Can't stall the plant.
Nope. And there it is, already a post plant with 5 alive. You still have Hunter's Fury on Crash. He's got Artist with a res as well.
2 snake bites, 2 nano swarms.
How
Victor with the fragment.
You've got to somehow disrupt the back line with this. Come on, this is going to be hard work. First touch on the spike, going to try and draw out the initial utility. There's a little bit of a look, but not too much intention behind it. Som willing to put life on the line for this now. Maybe even first contact once that wall does drop. There it is, say hello. Som says hello to 2 and bye. Finally goes down, but it's down to 3. Wolfen, Starzo, and Trex. How much more can they do? It's not looking likely. Wolfen, desperate, and desperation ain't working. Starzo now with a judge, and the jury has decided it's NRG.